If you're thinking about using a Gigabyte motherboard for RGB lighting control, stick around. Today we're going to talk about the software, some of the hardware connections that you need to make. Now, one of the big advantages that you get using motherboard lighting control is that you already have the controller. You don't need to go buy anything else. As long as it's got the proper connections to get all your devices connected, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now, the software that Gigabyte uses is called RGB Fusion 2.0, and you can download that through the Gigabyte App Center, which is kind of a front end to the Gigabyte ecosystem, and it allows you to download a whole bunch of utilities, tools, BIOS updates, things like that. But you can also download it as a standalone application. I'll put the links in the description below. If you don't want to mess with the App Center, you can download this just by itself. The installation for this is fairly straightforward. Get it downloaded, get it installed. Let's go ahead and launch the application. It's going to give you this please wait screen where it's detecting the available devices. I'm going to put a link in the description below on the supported device list from Gigabyte. Now, it also has what they call RGB Fusion ready devices. Now, these are going to be third-party devices. For example, in this motherboard, I've got some Vengeance RAM by Corsair. It is on the supported list. So the layout of the software is fairly simplistic, but let's go over all the major features of it. On the left-hand side, you're going to get a listing of all the devices that were detected in your particular setup. In the middle here, you're going to get all the icons for the lighting effects that you can select. On the right-hand side, you're going to get a basic color selection wheel. And you'll get some quick links here. These will be preset, and you can, of course, customize this favorite color bar. Right underneath that, you get RGB numerical values that you can set if you need to be precise on an exact color. And, of course, you get a speed selector and an overall brightness. The speed would be for some of the animated sequences. Up in the right-hand corner, we've got a settings icon. The very first one is going to be, it's asking you to enter a password for the mobile app for Android or iOS. I went and looked for the application on Google Play, and it does not exist. The iOS app, I can confirm, does exist, but I don't have a device actually here to test that with. I can just tell you that that application gets terrible, terrible marks in the iOS system. Now, I did reach out to Gigabyte about the Android app and where it was and what the status of it is, but they didn't really answer my question, or they responded to me saying that this motherboard doesn't support the Cloud Station software. But I went and looked for the Cloud Station application on Android as well, and I don't see that. So I've responded back to Gigabyte to clarify what's the status of the RGB Fusion application for Android, because I don't have an answer from them, and they really didn't answer it. They went off into something else. I'm not sure if they didn't understand what I was talking about. So this next setting is for LEDs in sleep, hibernation, and soft off states. This will tell RGB Fusion what to do with the LEDs when the machine is off. Always run on next reboot, and an update schedule. Just while Windows boot. I assume that has to just check for an update every time it reboots. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about your motherboard, because that's going to be the device that everybody has here. Your motherboard layout is going to look a little bit differently than this. Now, this is for the 450 motherboard, which has only 2 RGB ports and 1 built-in lighting element, and that's going to be reflected by these little icons right here. This is going to be a digital LED port, meaning it's a 5-volt ARGB. And this is going to be a 12-volt RGB up here. And then it's also got a lighting element on the rear. We're going to be selectable by this icon over here on the far right. It's just a strip of LEDs on the rear of this motherboard. Basically, you can click each one individually, and you can set whatever sequence you want. Now, how I've got the 5-volt ARGB connector connected, and we'll expand on this idea here in just a second so you can get some ideas on how to get creative here. I went ahead and I connected up just this very cheap 5-volt ARGB splitter is what it is essentially. And so basically the RGB signal here I've connected to the motherboard. So it's just getting the input from the motherboard. And then I've got 2 RGB devices connected here. Now, I've got the strips in the front, but I've also got the fan controller over here. Now, this is the Cougar case, and using the front button, I can put that controller into a motherboard sync mode, and basically it's just going to get its signal from here. So the motherboard port's going to come into the splitter, and from the splitter I can expand it out to as many devices as I want. I can't control these devices independently, of course, but I can come here to RGB Fusion and select this port, and whatever I select here is going to be just fanned out to all of these. So if I select Pulse, as you can see here, I'm going to get the 5-volt strips, and the fans are going to match up. And of course, whatever I happen to select, it's going to get just filtered out to all of that. So, and this has got a number of different lighting sequences in it, these digital H, G, F. There's a whole bunch of different ones that we can do here, and you can apply that. So where you can leverage this is if you happen to have two digital LED ports, you can, of course, you could hook up another splitter and another set of fans. Now it's a little more cabling and a little bit more work, but then you can independently, and you could stagger those fans. There's a whole bunch of different ways you could do it so that you could get some different looks in there. You know, the animations maybe don't really go across any of them very well, but it would just allow you to get a couple of different colors, a couple of different looks. You could play around with that. We can kind of do that here with the 12 volt ports as well, but basically we're going to go ahead and select the 12 volt port, and we can go ahead and select whatever we want here. And we can independently control this. Now we get a lot less functions on the 12 volt here. It doesn't do very much. Now, of course, I can select the memory, and I can control the memory individually. So if I select green, blue, red, you get the idea. So the other thing you can do is you can select the sync mode, and this is going to put all of your devices together, and it's going to apply the same effect across all of them, which is really cool, and it works quite well. So if we just go static, of course, we can change the color of all of the devices all at the same time. It's a great way to just get them all to link up. Now, the AMD Heatsink here does not play with RGB Fusion 2.0, unfortunately. You know, that's one of the problems with RGB in general in PCs, is that we're always left with these little anomalies where you can't control it. So I would either A, have to go use their software to control this and try to match it up. I will mention though that OpenRGB, that does control this Gigabyte motherboard, so I suspect it will control all of them. And that software actually works really, really good to get control over all these devices. But for now, the sync mode works pretty good. You can get you know, some pretty good control. You don't get anything really super fancy as far as the lighting sequences. It's got a music mode, you know, so if you have music and things going on the screen, it will kind of synchronize up with that. A random button, you know, a game function. It's got a couple of games that it supports. You can check out Gigabyte's website for the games that are supported. And of course, you can turn them off. You also get the ability to control RGB Fusion from within your BIOS. Now, this is just a simplified version of the software, but it's kind of cool that it's here. If you just need some real basic settings and you don't want to bother with the software, come check this out. You get a color selection wheel. Now, it looks like what it controls, you don't get any ability to select which device in here. So it looks, at least on my setup, it's just controlling all of the devices on the motherboard, both the 5 volt and the 12 volt port and the built-in lighting element. And you can just do some real basic color selection. You can turn the lights off, pulse mode, color mode, static mode, flash mode. Seems to work just fine. So I think as long as the RGB Fusion software is not running, this will be the setting that you get. So anyways, it may look a little bit different in your motherboard. Check it out though. All right, so that is just a really quick overview of RGB Fusion. Now, a couple of compatibility things. If this particular motherboard, I've looked at Signal RGB. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video of that, I think, coming up here, because it's a pretty cool piece of software. It does not work with this B450 motherboard. I went and looked at the supported device list. There are a couple of Gigabyte motherboards that are supported with it. So go check out their supported device list if you're thinking about a specific motherboard, because that would be a software that would also be helpful to get some synchronization going across all these devices. But it does not work with this one, unfortunately. I tried JackNet RGB with this motherboard, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it to connect, so I wasn't able to get any control over this motherboard. So anyways, just be aware that some Gigabyte motherboards might not work with JackNet RGB, but I think OpenRGB and Signal RGB are probably better solutions for that. All right, so let's talk about some of the physical connections you need to make. Now, the first place I'd recommend you consult is the user's manual for your motherboard. If you haven't purchased the motherboard yet, go to Gigabyte's website, find your motherboard's product page, and check out the PDF version of that. What you're looking from that is what LED ports do you have and the type. Are they 12 volt? Are they 5 volt? I think there's even some very product specific ports out there for some of the water kits and the memory armor and things like that. The user's manual is the guide to what your specific motherboard has. There's not a one size fits all. There's many models of motherboard that they make, so check that out. Primarily what you're interested in is, the 5-volt ARGB ports. That's going to be the common port that you're using nowadays. Of less importance is the 12-volt RGB port, in my opinion. Unless you have 12-volt devices, then those are useful. You can still get the 12-volt RGB products, but they're not as cool. I would recommend, if you can find a motherboard that has 2 or 3 of the 5-volt ARGB ports, that's going to be most ideal. Now, it might be important to you as well what elements are embedded on the motherboard. This ITX board just has one, just a little row of LEDs on the edge there. Others of them have LEDs embedded all over the place, and you'll get those represented in RGB Fusion, so you can set those as well. Looks very cool. The connections are just standard. The 5-volt is just a standard 3-pin ARGB connector, and the 12-volt is just your standard 4-pin RGB connector. I recommend you be mindful of the power limitations of each of these ports, although I think it's quite a bit. So, like for example, the 5-volt ARGB port on this B450 is 5 volts, 5 amps, and like 1,000 LEDs on there. And the 12-volt RGB port is 12 volts, 2 amps, I think with a maximum length of 2 meters. There's not necessarily an LED limitation. It's more of a length in there. Anyways, making the physical connection, it's just like any other RGB connection. You're just going to plug them in, do some cable management, route everything, make it look nice, get it out of the way. So now in RGB Fusion, if you go ahead and you take your time and you make some, a bunch of different sequences and you got it looking perfect. And one thing we didn't talk about is you can save and export profiles. I've come across a few devices where the RGB lighting just didn't quite look right. So you may want to go ahead and calibrate it. If the colors don't match up to what you're doing, you can select whatever port you want and then just click on whatever color it is first. So it's red, in this case now it's green, now it's blue. That should go ahead and set it. Now I've been using Gigabyte motherboards for quite a number of years here. The only one I've ever had problem with, I did a video of early on this channel. Did a shadow box of that Gigabyte motherboard, and that thing was 7-8 years old when it finally died, and I was rendering a video of that. So overall, I've really enjoyed Gigabyte motherboards, given me very little trouble. I've built PCs for the family and everything using those boards, and most of them are still ticking along just fine today. So overall, from a hardware perspective, I really like Gigabyte. Never had any issues with it. The RGB control, I will say, is okay. It's from a hardware perspective, it's fine. The software, it's just kind of mediocre. It's very simplistic. If you really just want some basic RGB control, it does a decent enough job. Whether you'll run into trouble with some of those third-party RGB Fusion ready devices, I can't say for sure. I had some issues with it where I had to kind of go kicking it around a little bit. On my main daily driver PC, RGB Fusion I just keep in the background so I can set the few internal RGB lights. Then I use Corsair for everything else. So I have used it. I don't particularly really like it. But that said, for what it does, if you just need some basic RGB control and you're not going to get fancy with it, and it's not the primary function of what you're doing, it's fine. If you're just going to connect up to a couple of ports, use a couple splitters, things like that, it does a good job, and it looks okay. You're not going to get anything fancy out of it. You don't get individual LED controls or anything like that. Now, up and coming, I talked about it earlier, Open RGB. If you're going to do this, check out Open RGB because it worked with everything. Doesn't do anything super fancy, but it's a little bit better way of getting control of this. So anyways, check that out. I'll put a link in the description below to that piece of software. So anyways, that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about Gigabyte RGB Fusion 2.0, I'm happy to help when I can and where I can. That is going to do it for today. Thank you.